welcome to Adeline Redesign. Today we are going to be restoring the finish on this mid-century modern style coffee table. It was $20 entire, which I was happy to pay. The restore finish experience I've had with it has been fantastic. I look forward to showing you. I'm deciding to do it rather than doing it perfectly. I'll get you some close-ups of this piece. Other than a quick wipe down to make sure it was allergy free enough to come into my house, it hasn't had anything done. So I'm starting at the beginning with the cleaning. It'll help give me time to assess the damages. It's pretty bad. You can see it's not good. Let's see what Restore Finish can do for us after we clean it and get out a heat gun to remove that sticker. Getting out the heat gun, I checked out this side a little better. Got some more light on it so you can see it better too. All right, sticker time. If you think your hairdryer is just as good as a heat gun, you are more mistaken than you probably know. I'm gonna grab some Goo Gone to get the rest of that up and encourage you to look up the cost of a glue gun or a heat gun if it might be of use to you. Ew, this is gonna be filthy. Okay. As a general rule, you don't want to apply this much water to wood furniture because I'm refinishing it, and because this is a deep cleaning, I'm making an exception to that general rule. And before you refinish a piece, especially if you're going to paint, it's kind of the time to make it the exception, but I won't keep it on any longer than I really need to. Even just the improvement provided by a wash on this is interesting. I'm gonna wipe off the excess that the squeegee didn't get, and then I'm gonna rinse with clear water. I had what is commonly referred to as a good idea in lifting this table onto another. I'll have access to everything I need for the restore finish, and I won't hurt my back as much. Now I just need the restore finish and a rag that I'm going to wipe up with it, which I'll lay out to dry or get wet later on. Because it's oil-based, it's a danger not to lay it out. This area is among those that's in worse shape than others. I've got the door cracked to make sure that I've got adequate ventilation. Once I do, I'll take half of a steel wool brick. This is 4/0 steel wool, pretty expensive. You can get it in a lot of places. And then I'll rub with the grain. They say don't pour directly onto the surface. And while I don't know why, I do know that manufacturers don't just make up rules to amuse themselves. Looks like this is probably going to end up being imperfect, but still very, very good. Looks like that's the extent of what it's going to be able to do for me. I think that's more than acceptable. I'm going to show you each side by side right now so you can remember how different they are. It's before, and there we are into the after. I'm going to show you close up what I do after the restore finish to make it look even better. Take a wood marker. When you look at it, you may think, "Oh God, don't do that. It's a terrible, terrible idea. It looks bad. You're just marking. You're just putting a whole bunch of marking on it." But that's not true. Don't worry. See, the restore finish blends it in, and I can keep going until the restore finish has dissolved it out entirely, so a mistake can be erased. And it's not a perfect improvement, but it's an improvement. I'll take it. I could do this in fast forward for you. I will. Oh, by the way, 0 companies suggested I do this, so I'm not going to suggest you do it. There may be reasons that are bad, and if you know them, put them in the comments. When I go back with the steel wool after I put the marker on, I use it just until I can no longer tell that I put a marker on. It's not perfect, and I could get obsessive, and maybe I will for a minute just for the fun of it. There we go. I'm really happy with that. I'm really, really happy with that. As opposed to stripping it all and refinishing it, I mean, goodness, the time saved. Let's keep going. They say go in the direction of the grain. I'm not sure why. I've gone against their instructions before without it causing harm, but also without it doing anything good, just when it's been easier for me. I bet it's the small scratches that it can put in the surface that would look better if they go with the grain rather than against it being is the reason. Just ordered some more. And while you can see it's still imperfect, what I think part of what I love about doing this method to blend out where the finishes come off is that it looks imperfect, it looks like there's an error, but it looks like the kind of error a manufacturer makes. It's like distressing it in a way that we don't ever think about. Normally we distress a piece so that it looks aged. Finding a way to cover an issue that looks like the way a manufacturer would have done something in the first place, I think is kind of neat. I'm gonna keep going. I've got the top done. I've got one side done, and I've got this side. I'm gonna give you a close-up view of this side. Then I'm gonna do the repairs off camera. Then I will come back and show you a close-up pan of the after. All right, so clockwise once, clockwise twice. And there's the after of this side. It's very good looking, right? I mean, it's so cool. Here's the finished product. I'll take it off the roller and do a video outside for potential customers to see. It's good looking. It's imperfect, and if I had a ton of time, I would spend it on the top. To that end, you can click like. The faster I get monetized on YouTube, the faster I get to spend more time doing quality work, refinishing pieces. And this isn't bad, but it could be so much better and not profitable in that case. I know I said that I was just going to sell it, but I really have to do more than that. Because if I sanded it down, just some of it, I could restain it here, and then it would be more beautiful. The restore finish helped, and this finish is okay. I could put a clear coat on it to ensure that it was even more durable, but it wouldn't look as good. See, that doesn't look good. I want to sand it down. What I'm going to do here in the center, I'm going to sand the places where it's seriously bad. This is 220 grit. I don't want to sand it down too much, but I want to get close enough to the raw wood that a stain could take. Oh, yo, dog, you know what I just remembered? I have gel stain. I'm working on a use what you have principle right now, so I couldn't go get more. But if I have it on hand, then those are the supplies I'm using to flip with my. Yeah, I'm gonna grab that gel stain, see if we can fix it that way. That would be cool. Let me get a close up for you of where I am. See, the sanding got me closer to the wood. Those pores can accept some stain now, hopefully. I want to talk about the options I have here available to me and why I might use them or why I would not. Hopefully that will help you get more familiar with what you want to do in your own projects. The first thing of note is I use Restore Finish. That's oil-based. If oil and water don't mix, which they don't, you've probably heard, anything that's water-based is not going to work for me. So this spray, as lovely as it is, won't work. This water-based stain and poly won't work. This is oil-based. It'll work. This is oil-based. It'll work. This is shellac. It'll work. Shellac is kind of the, oh, God bless the lac bug. Anyway, I won't get into that, but I'm going to talk about my options here. The shellac wouldn't change the coloring at all, so it might be a top coat I would choose after staining. The poly and satin would provide protection, but it would cover the wood grain more than just restaining wood. I believe I'm going to go with restaining and then using shellac for cover. I'm going to think on it to make sure. This, by the way, I'm wearing because I have lanolin all over my hands. It is sheep's fat. It's very helpful for dry skin. So you can put lanolin on your hands, on your feet, and then cover, and you'll get a really great moisturization. Vaseline doesn't do too bad a job as far as protective barrier goes. So some oils or penetrating lotions followed by Vaseline and socks. Get your feet nice that way. Skirt. I found the gel stain. Because I found the gel stain, I'm going to use it. I believe it is the easiest. Ooh, do you need to see my face? Why am I sitting? Oh, it's nice to sit. Paying attention to your biomechanics, aka your posture as you move. Is that, well, anyway, it's important if you want to refinish furniture or do anything of the sort. It can get really tiresome physically if you aren't making sure that you're using your body in ways that won't pull muscles or overwork yourself too much. When I am most likely to notice it as an issue is when I move to a new kind of activity or something I haven't been doing in a while. I have muscle groups that'll let me know. I want to stir this. Will let me know I overdid it the day before. And then I get DOMS, delayed muscle onset, delayed onset muscle soreness. That's a fancy way of saying that you worked out too much yesterday. Okay, here goes the gel stain, and here goes on. I'm putting it on. I'll put on my mask. I'll open the window or the door. I think this is going to be great. Since I need to move fast, I'm going to turn off the camera. I'll be back for you to show you how this goes very soon. I'll show you on this very last section that I want to do. I get a little stain, and I go against the grain to begin with. My applicator pad is starting to kind of dissolve almost. Well, it's breaking down, and that's okay. I like to use disposable. Then I go with the grain. This is gel stain specifically, you go against the grain. You're going to fill some spots that way, and then you go with the grain. You wait a few minutes, then you wipe off the excess. So here I am again going against the grain, and now with it. Gonna wait a few minutes, and then I'm gonna wipe off the excess. Now, even though I don't really need stain elsewhere on the piece, I'm going to use it just a little bit and then wipe off the excess to help ensure that all of the top has the same sheen. Now there's a new final product. It is drying, it has gel stain on it. The sheen will change a bit as it dries. It looks a lot better than it did, and I'm glad for that. Gel stain requires a top coat. After 48 hours, I'll be using Odie's oil. Fantastic, fantastic finish and polish, and super expensive. So if you don't refinish furniture a lot, I would recommend you use something else. This is what I would recommend. I would recommend an oil-based polyurethane top coat after the 48-hour period has finished. You can get it in a real small jar. That's not it. That's a wood stain. But that's what I would recommend if you don't refinish often, is an oil-based polyurethane in a small container. Shellac is another option that could be good if you are going to be refinishing on occasion. I think that that's worth getting because it has a lot of uses. It's what's in bin primer. So you can use it as a primer, as a top coat as well, and in between oil and water. Then Deft, I've used it repeatedly, and I guess I'm not supposed to because it's waterborne, but it's worked so well and held up after using products that were oil-based stains specifically. Click like if you would. It really, really helps me be able to create content and refinish pieces to help with sustainability and beauty. They're just so gorgeous. Let me show you what I did yesterday. This bookshelf. It's a barrister's bookshelf or a lawyer's bookcase. It's so beautiful, and I've already got a buyer, so it won't be here for long, but I just love it. Click like, please. Thanks. Bye.